Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at Sketchup Exercise 2, which is a window house. We're going to be learning about making arrays and then also making components out of the windows that we're going to be setting up. So a couple different things we're going to be looking at. With this activity, with Exercise 2, we're going to be starting with a rectangle and pulling that up and then adding a half circle on top. We're going to be pulling that across to make an arched roof, pushing down or moving the front edge, and then adding windows and adding arrays. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So we have SketchUp 2018 open, and it's in inches and feet. Hopefully you set that for that. And we are going to start by going with a rectangle. So if you're not there yet, click on a rectangle. And we're going to just draw this over here. It doesn't really matter too much how big it is. You can see we went 8 feet 9 inches by 30 feet, and then we use the push-pull tool. I click once and I pull up, and that's pretty good right there. And I can adjust this. Looks like it might be a little long. I can push that in. Why not? Go like that. Okay, now I want an arc, and I'm going to use the 2-point arc. So I'm going to start at the corner, come in a little ways, and then make sure that it's going straight up and down. So it's from point, so we have that there. Now I'm rotating, so you can use your orbit tool, or I'm using a mouse with a roller ball, so I'm just pushing down my roller ball. I'm going to go to my push-pull tool and see how it dots there. I'm going to push over. Now a trick here is if I just clicked once and I let go because I can still drag it back, but I'm going on this front edge out down here. I just moved my cursor down there, and then I'm going to click. That way it is even with this edge. I will not have a gap right on this front edge. In fact, I could delete that line and the wall doesn't disappear, which means, yeah, it's all one piece now. All right, because the next trick, or not trick, but the next thing we have to do is move down. So use the move tool. I'm going to go to this front edge and I'm going to be pushing straight down. So not the push-pull tool, but the move tool. Now be very careful. It has to say on blue axis so that we went straight down. Because if you don't, this wall might be at a slight angle, and when we go to put windows on there, it will not work. So the next thing we have to do, I'm going to go with square windows. So I'm just going to draw a square, something like that. Then I'm going to use the offset tool. So this is a tool right here. I'm going to click on my square and I'm going to go out just a little bit, offset. So I made a perfectly even square all the way around it. And then I'm going to go over to my glass and mirrors. You can go to your paint can as well. So if you go to the paint can, it would go over here, but then glass and mirrors, and I'm just going to go in there and color that. Now you can see that I have the inside. I can see the inside because that was a window. And then if I want to paint the outside of it, I'm going to go with a wood, and you can just do colors. It really doesn't matter. That's up to you. Now I have to make this a component. Now this is kind of a tricky thing. You want to make sure that you don't get something that you're not supposed to. So I'm in my select position here, starting at the top left and going down to the right. It does make a difference because if you start at the top left and go down to the right, only things that are in the square completely will be selected. If I start at the bottom and move up and I happen to catch another surface, it will select that as well. So now I've got this selected. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say make component. And something to look at here, which I can't move this, but you'll see that this X is right here, right in the corner of it. It selects all that, and I can call it window. And I have it so that it cuts the opening so that it'll leave the hole there when I'm done. All right, so now I have the window. Now with my window in place, I want to make copies that go clear across here. So again, I've got a long ways to go here. I don't want to have to do this each time, and I want them to be even. So I'm going to go to my move tool, and I'm going to go onto my window, and I'm going to click once and push the control button, click once, and there I go. So I forgot to push the control button. The instructions say to push the control button, and I move it over, and then click, and then I'm going to copy, say, 6x to make 6 copies. Okay, so you can see I have a whole lot of wall there still. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my push-pull tool. I'm going to adjust my building to meet my windows. Okay, that looks nice. All right. So now I need to make copies going all the way up here and all the way up to the top. Well, how can I do that without having to redo all those over again? So I'm going to start top left, go down, select those. Now I'm going to just rotate, make sure I didn't select anything I wasn't supposed to. I'm going to go to my move tool, click the control button, click on my windows. I'm making a copy and I'm going to say 2x, and it just makes another copy. And then I can repeat that going up onto the roof. Now this gets a little trickier, so I'm going to need to be in my select tool. Make sure I have them all. Did I get in the back? Nope. I'm going to go to my move tool, click the control button, and I'm going to go in the bottom corner this time, and I'm going to go up here. Now I'm going to move a little bit to sideways so that it's on face. And so I have these still selected, and while I'm here, I'm going to say click control, and I'm going to go 2x, and there we go. So now I've got them all up there. I can look through my windows. If you can't see through them, then there's a little issue. A big one is if you didn't move this down straight, these windows will not sit right on here. So now I want just one of these windows. I'm going to grab this, click on this one right here. I'm going to go to my move tool, push my control, click, and I'm going to drag this up here. Now, this is kind of in the way. I'm going to get rid of this right here. Now, I'm going to actually move that just a little bit down. Make what I want to do next work. Okay, I'm going to move it right there. Now, different kind of array. I'm on my move tool. I'm going to click the control. I'm going to go down here, click, and I'm going to type in 6/ and you can see that in the bottom right corner, 6/ and then enter. And I've just made an array in between there. So I have my side arrays, I have the windows in the front. Let's say I want to pull the frames out a little bit or make the windows deeper or something like that. Well, I need to be on my select tool. I'm going to double click on my array here and zoom in here. I'm going to go to my push pull tool. Now you'll see that it's making dots around not only the wood on the left here, but all the other windows too, even though they're kind of shaded out a little bit. And I'm going to click once, and I can now pull, and you can see they're all going. It's kind of crazy there, but they're all pulling out. And I can do the same thing with the window. If I want to make it thicker window, I can just hit the clear button, the control button, and pull a little bit. So now I actually have some depth to my window. So that's kind of cool too. So we have that. And I'm going to go back to my select tool, click outside. Now what if I want to do something with just the windows on my roof? Well, there's a way to do that too, and that's in the instructions, but I'm going to show you real quick how to make this a unique group. I'm going to select all these guys. Now, I wasn't able to get those selected, all of them. See, one's not here. If I hit the control button and click that one, oh, it's unselected all of them. I need to select all of them, so let me try that again. I'm still not going to get that one. Okay, that time I pushed control, and I held the control, and I pushed it and got just that one selected. And now I'm going to right click, make unique. Right, so this is a unique group on the top. Alright, so now that I have them unique, I'm going to double click on one of the top ones. Be any one of them. I am now in component mode. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to draw it on just this one here at the midpoint and draw it across. See what happened to all the rest of those on the roof? They all also got that line. I'm at the midpoint. I'm going to draw across. They also did that. I'm going to try to, sometimes it's a little tricky, but when I mouse over it, see how it's just the top showing? I'm making a sunshade or rain shade or whatever, and it's only appearing on these. And then if I want to go in there and change the colors for those, I certainly can. I'm going to choose a tan. Oops, and I choose the one that I have selected over here. And I can change that color, and then if I want to change the outside of it, again, you can just work your way around it to change just the ones on the roof. So that is about it for that activity. So sometimes it's easier just to start over. So especially if you get that front wall crooked, start again. Have fun.